Hey, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We're gonna wait a little bit to get some folks here, and it really doesn't matter because you guys will get to see this traditional arts, right? And so what we have to offer, and that is unique and different, and just let me give you a perspective where this fighting system is rooted in, and it's rooted in, hey man, what's happening? Or gal, I can't see who it is. I'm driving, but great to have you here. So we're talking about a system that is based in you getting home versus or you returning from the end of your shift or returning from the end of your tour of duty, whatever that might be, right? And so it's based around survivability. And that survivability, man, it's super important to what I would like to say is, hey, welcome back. What I'd like to say is, listen, I want to know 5 or 7 techniques or fight strategies or entry patterns and do them 10,000 times each, as opposed to 1,000 techniques or 5 dozen techniques and only having done them a few hundred times. And the difference is your ability to be able to recall and do whatever that is, control the upper body, do a takedown if needed, do a strike, break contact system. You need to be able to do that automatically and immediately. Automatically and immediately. And this is a difference maker between often a traditional fight system and the methodologies and strategies and training that we use at NLB and ISP. I'm driving here on this country to communicate with. Let's look at principles and concepts. Is that I'm coming home no matter what. Right? And a concept opportunity. Do damage at every opportunity. Right? So let's just lay this down for a moment here, because they don't want to make it like, yeah, we are the kill everything and beat everything down that moves no matter what. Let's just get straight to that right away. So what we're saying is we want to be living our lives as good people, right? I'm a grandpa personally, right? So I want to spend time with my grandson. I want to watch my kiddos be parents. I want to watch my kiddos, the younger ones, develop into their careers, do their sports, and it's fantastic, right? So here I am, living my life, and we got a bogey who comes into play. We got a bogey who comes into play. And that bogey, I need to ID him, right? I need to ID him. So let's just call, as opposed to calling it a bogey, I want to call it an unknown. So we got this unknown. I got to identify what's happening with this unknown. So let's do 3 different scenarios. Scenario 1, it's just a person who looks funky and has some behaviors that he's just different. He's just different. Okay, I'm still gonna keep my eye on that guy, right? Now I got the second person who he's freaking weird, right? And he's too close to comfort for me, and I don't like his body mannerisms. I don't like the things he's murmuring under his breath. If I'm with my wife and kids and we can get going and he hasn't presented a problem, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get going, right? If If I'm by myself, I can just change that environment. Don't be there to have the problem escalate into something else, right? That's just that's just being a sitting duck, waiting for something to go wrong when you know the body language, the behavior, the verbals all point and say problem. Okay, now there's the last one. The last one is I'm with my family. I've identified I've identified this person. Everything doesn't look right, and before you know it, he aggresses on us. Okay, now I can't escape. I'm with my wife and kids. The guy has just closed. He's closing the gap fast. That's when we are gonna activate. Well, we're actually activated before that because we're in ID phase. But listen, I am not going to wait until the guy is clocked my wife or clocked me or done something to my kids or a friend that I have the ability to care for. Yeah, no, not good, right? So what I'm gonna do, depending on the severity of what they do, is I'm gonna look to change their channel. And what I mean by change their channel is whatever his intention was, I'm going to shut that sucker down. Right? I'm going to shut that sucker down. So what do I mean by that? Is if I have to get control of his shoulder, get control of his eyes, get control of his breathing, this goes back to principles and concept. Gotta come home. Gotta come home at the end of the day. Gotta come home at the end of the shift. Gotta come home at the end of the tour. Hey man, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Hank Hayes, Intuitive Self-Protection and NLB Tactical. We're just talking about empty hand fighting skills, right? So, yeah. So now let's go back to that scenario. We're back to that scenario. When I say eyes or oxygen, you can't fight too well if you can't see and if you're in a bunch of pain, right? Can't fight too well if you can't see and you're a bunch of pain, right? Throat. Taking away his oxygen. I don't care how many muscles you have. I take away someone's ability to breathe. They got a serious problem. They got a serious problem. This is what I mean by, this is what I gotta make this funky turn here. This is what I mean by changing the channel. Like, we're gonna get him off of what he was thinking and we're gonna get him on something else. So he was thinking about doing some bad stuff to you. Now the bugger is thinking about, shoot, I can't freaking breathe, right? I can't see. My eyes are all watered up. In that instance, then you can, and again, depending on what has transpired, you can get with your family and get gone, right? So we mentioned two things as far as dispensing control tactics, pain tactics, or fight tactics, whatever you want to call them. And I just put it simply, we're gonna bring the pain. We're gonna bring the pain, and our fight strategy then, or concept, is take away the eyes, strike the eyes, take away the oxygen, and deliver a high degree of pain to either the groin area, a nerve bundle, his ability to stand. This changes the table. So you see, I'm not particularly looking for a technique to do. Grab elbow, grab wrist, redirect, hyperextend, off balance, take down to the ground. It's rooted differently. And that's what makes the uptake of the information that much faster, right? You get there that much faster. Hey, Keisha, how you doing? How are you? Good to see you, girl. Yeah, so because you've taken a faster route to get there, you have less things to think about, thus you can act that much quicker to get on threat. So these are a couple of things that we want you to think about in relation to what is the fighting system that you are studying, and are they getting you to solution that much quicker, right? You need to get there fast. Well, you don't need to do anything. You can do whatever you want, but what we're selling is self-preservation and achieved very quickly. Self-preservation and achieved very quickly. So let's go back to it. Principles and concept. Principles, and the principle is I want to go home and go ahead and have a glass of wine and make some sauteed chicken, right? Or hang out with the kids. I want to make it to the end of my shift, because right now, somewhere in America, some law enforcement guy is fighting for his life in a hospital. His family's being notified, or in a worst case, he has lost, or she has lost their life in the line of duty. And to watch, March 31st, 2024. Oh man, that friggin' sucks, right? Or someone has gone off to a tour duty for an 18-month hop, and they may not come back with all their limbs. They may not come back at all, right? So that's the principle. The concept is I'm going to identify threat, or I'm going to identify the unknown. First thing, I identify the unknown, right? Is he on drugs? Is he drinking? Is he just a person there having a smoke? Well, what's the deal with this person, right? Next thing is, if I can identify threat, I see problems. If I can get gone, I'm going to get gone while keeping an side eye on this guy, right? The third thing is I don't have option. It's a problem. A problem is imminent, or he's making forward movement. Then I am going to, when I can't get gone by myself, surely when I can't get gone with my family, I'm going to close a gap on that threat. And the easiest way to, now of course depending on what he's doing, but take away his eyes, take away his oxygen, take away his mobility, deliver a high degree of pain. Now we've changed this channel. Now, depending on what your job task is, you can cuff him up, you can do something else, or you can, smash some more and get gone. Situation is going to dictate. So that's the last thing I'll say here. Mission dictates the gear. Situation dictates the tactic. What do we mean by that? Okay, mission dictates the gear. So if I have a bunch of tanks coming up, let's just say I have tanks coming up, is my little pistol going to help me? Your pistol is not going to help at all, right? Pistol's not going to help at all. You need an anti-tank penetrating missile, or whatever it is, or you have to go from air to land and get rid of that problem, right? Okay, so that's why I say mission dictates the gear, right? If you're a civilian and you carry, well, what's the best type of carry weapon for your body frame? Surely, than those that are firearms people, your carry is not going to be a Desert Eagle, Desert Eagle 40 cal, right? It's too big. It's a huge monster weapon, right? So you're going to have something that's either a subcompact or a compact. Some guys carry a full frame, they may be bigger. You have a bigger, sight radius, slide radius, but you get my point. And that point is mission dictates the gear, and then situation dictates the tactic. Do you have to just control a person to the ground? Do you have to do verbals to de-escalate? Or do you have to go ham and use some of your stuff? Hey guys, thanks for joining. And that's what we got for you today. And so we talked about, and the one with this is NLB and ISP fight tactics versus traditional. For the mission that we're on, which is survivability and self-preservation, we have some stuff for you that gets the job done and gets the job done really efficiently, effectively, and it's not hard to learn at all. We got to flip bloop, that mindset switch to when threat is present, we're going to crush that threat. That's just basically plain and simple. We're going to crush that threat, and we're going to get the job done and look for more work Okay, great seeing you. Happy Easter, and make it a great day. We'll see you guys soon. Ciao. Hank Hayes, Intuitive Self-Protection, NLB Tactical. You're here on our page. You can also go to our website at intuitivesp.com. Intuitivesp.com. Ciao. See you guys.